y'all, Kimberly Rose here, and this video is going to be quite different than usual. This is something that I've been wanting to do, but just really hadn't had a moment to really just get it all out there. I really need to get my emotions together before I told this story. It's been quite a long time, 11 years since my accident, but I just never really felt ready enough to really get on camera and just tell it all, like from start to finish. So I feel like I'm in a place where I'm finally ready. I want to get on here and just share my complete story of how I ended up in a wheelchair. I'm in a cabin right now, something a little different. I wanted to come out here and celebrate my 11th year since my injury. And I came out here with my boyfriend. We're in this cabin. It's a tiny cabin, but this video is not about the cabin. Stay tuned for the video. I'm going to share about why I'm in a wheelchair, what happened to me. I'm just talking off the cuff here, okay? No script, no nothing. I didn't write anything down. I'm just going off of memory. I've had 11 years to think about this, to process things. So here we go. Let me take it from the very beginning, pre-injury. So I'm going to break this up. Pre-injury, the injury, and then post-injury, all right? 3 segments. So the first one, pre-injury. So I was 18 years old, and I just graduated high school. I went off to college. My parents put me in a pre-college program just to kind of get me ready for college classes. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was mischievous. And my parents were just looking like, you're not going to just be getting into bad things this summer. So they sent me off to a pre-college program at a school in Nashville, Tennessee called Fisk University. And my first time away from home, but I was excited. A little sad because I was going to be away from my friends, but you know, I was like, okay, something different. So they dropped me off to the pre-college program. I spent about 5 weeks there, and I made tons of friends. Had the best experience of my life. After the pre-college program ended, we went home for about a week or two just to kind of relax and get ready for the school year to start. So I made all these friends, met boys, you know, my best friend, Jasmine, her and I we clicked, we were just twins. I just couldn't wait to be back with her. We agreed we were going to be roommates for the school year. So I had my plans, honey. I was ready. I packed my bags like I was never coming back home. I think I might have packed everything in my bedroom. I wasn't coming home. So cut to 2 weeks later, we are back in Nashville, and my parents dropped me off at school. So the school year starts, and we're taking classes. I think I joined an organization. I was just really involved. I was making friends. I'm just a friendly person, and even to this day, I'm just a social butterfly. Sometimes we would go off campus and go to other activities at nearby schools. And near our school in Nashville was also another school called Tennessee State. So we would go to those schools as well and just go to activities, meet people, football games. That particular weekend, the weekend of my accident, there was a big football game going on at Tennessee State. I was planning on going to the football game. I remember I was getting ready. I was in my room. I was getting ready. I had my cute little Daisy Duke shorts on, and I remember I had on a yellow tube top. It was BB. It said BB on there. And I was cute, honey. I was getting my hair together. I was doing my makeup late as usual. I think we were supposed to be there at 7. It was probably going on 8, and I was still getting ready. They were waiting on me. It was 3, 4 other people. And I remember I got a phone call from my basketball coach because I tried out for the basketball team at the college I was at. And the basketball coach called me that night, and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know you made the basketball team and practice is going to start Monday. And I was like, what? I was so happy. Honey, I really was about to just live it up. And so I was finally ready, and I remember getting my bags together, and we all met up in the hallway, and we went out to the car. And so it was me and 2 girls that I won't say their names. I won't name them, but it was me and 2 girls, and they weren't my roommates, but they lived in my dorm on my floor. We were all in the same class as well. And so we were all just becoming really good friends. So it was the 3 of us in the car. And then I remember one of the girls she was from the city, Nashville. So she brought her family member, I don't know, niece, cousin. It was just a family member. So the family member, younger family member came with us in the car. We went to go pick up another one of our classmates. I was in the front seat with her. And so if you can picture it, and I think the car was a Ford Explorer. This is to my memory. So then we're driving, and I have my seatbelt on in the front seat. and we're driving, and we go to pick up the guy who is one of our classmates. We go to pick him up, and him and the girl, I think, were dating at the time. And I remember saying to myself, let me get out of the car and go to the back seat and let them be at the front together because they're dating, right? I took my seatbelt off and I got in the back seat, and I didn't put my seatbelt on. So we get to the football game, we're late, missed the game. So we decide, let's go back to campus and let's just chill and find something to do. So we go back to campus, and we're driving, and I fall asleep. Known for falling asleep in the car. Still do it to this day. I fall asleep. I remember waking up, and I remember hearing, what? Or just yelling, and we crash. And that's all I remember, truly. I kind of have a faint memory of me yelling, or not me yelling, but me saying, help, help, or just saying something. I do kind of remember, but visually, I don't remember seeing anything. And when I did wake up, I was in the hospital, and I don't remember seeing faces, but I remember people saying, a bunch of people around me, do you know anybody's phone number? Do you know your mom's number? Do you know your dad? And I just remember I was like 777-655. Like I was just saying, like I knew their numbers, and I was speaking, and I was saying those numbers to them. And then I knocked out. And the next thing I remember, I wake up, I can't talk, and I must have had a tube down my throat to help me with my breathing, to keep my airways open, because I remember I couldn't speak, but I do remember my mom being there, and she was kind of standing over me, and she wasn't crying, but she was just kind of looking at me, and I remember maybe not the first thing she said, but I remember one of the first things she said was, I saw your tattoo and it's okay. And I just was like, okay, just even though I'm in this fucked up situation, but I'm in this bed, I can't move, I can't walk, can't talk. But I remember like laughing to myself, like, oh, okay, my mom's not mad at me. Now I'm in the hospital. I remember they took me to Vanderbilt Hospital. I was in Nashville still. I was at Vanderbilt, couldn't talk, was intubated. So once they took the tube out, I was able to talk again. I only had the tube in maybe a day or two. But I don't really have too much memory from my time in Vanderbilt, other than the nurses were super nice. They just took care of me so well. I didn't even know what paralyzed meant. I just knew I was in this bed, I couldn't move, and just was away from my friends, but it just didn't click that I was going to be in a wheelchair. So for 2 weeks, I was just in bed. I didn't get out of bed at all. And people would visit me. My parents were there. So many friends and family. So I remember when the accident happened, so many classmates, students from my school. It was a small school. And so many people came to visit me. I remember the church I was attending at the time, the pastor came, and it was a mega church. It was like a Lakewood of Nashville. It was a huge church. The pastor came and his wife, and they offered us a place to stay, just in the meantime. And I just remember so many people were just so kind. The cheerleaders from my high school, they weren't my friends then, but I just remember the cheerleaders sent me a care package of just all this food and so many things to do, games. I remember like teachers, my tennis coach called my mom, my school counselor, just so many people reached out to my family. And it was just overwhelming. And it just distracted me from really what was happening to me. Guys that wanted to talk to me in school, were texting me, hitting me up, calling me all the time. Just people from my high school. Even my Facebook page, I remember, was just filled with people just praying for you. And I remember reading it just like, wow, like I just felt the love. And at that time, for 2 weeks, I didn't have therapy. It was just me in bed, people visiting me on Facebook. And I was getting all the attention. So it really didn't click that what's next. And so 2 weeks after Vanderbilt, they transferred me to rehab. We had to figure out which rehab to go to. My parents did research, and they were going to keep me in Nashville so I could still go to school, but they didn't really like the reviews on the rehab there. And so they were talking to nurses, just trying to figure out the best place to take me. And everybody kept saying, take her to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. And so they took me by ambulance to Shepherd Center. They didn't take me by helicopter. My mom told me I was in the ambulance, and I think it was about 2-3, I don't know the hour difference from Nashville to Atlanta, but we went by ambulance. And so we arrived to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, and I get there in late September, and I'm there from September to December. When I'm there, I mean, I just learned how to do everything. I basically start my life completely over. When I get there, I'm in horrible shape. They finally get me in a wheelchair, and I nearly pass out. You know, just think you're just laying there in a bed for 2 weeks, and you finally sit up, and I almost passed out. I couldn't take it, so I had to lay back down. I remember they put me in a manual chair. They never gave me a power chair, and I had a really tough physical therapist and occupational therapist. They were no nonsense. They were not playing, and I appreciate that to this day. They made me work hard. I mean, from the beginning, when I got there, I could not eat on my own. I couldn't get dressed, use the bathroom, nothing I could do at all. And it was slowly starting to hit me that this was my reality, but it probably took a few months for it to hit me that, you know, this is not going away. We just worked on just grooming. We worked on transfers. We just tried to get as much down as possible, but you just don't learn it all in those 3 months. I mean, I think life was the best teacher for me. I don't remember crying a lot. I think it just did not hit me. I was just a kid enjoying being out of school, enjoying just getting attention. And I think, I remember they also made me go to a psychiatrist. I had to see one just because, you know, of course, going through something so traumatic, you must be depressed. You must, you know. And I remember going to him, and he was like, how are you feeling? Are you sad? And I was like, no, I want to actually get out of here. And I remember he wanted more from me, and I just couldn't give it to him. I didn't know what to feel. I just remember I was just going through the motions with everything. And we were finally able to go home. I couldn't wait. And I think once being away from, like, in that little bubble where everybody was so nice and so accommodating, then you're in the real world for real. And it's really just on my parents and us to figure. We don't have nurses and professionals helping us. That's when the reality set in. Like, I don't have the luxury of going through the hospitals and the ramps, and everything was just beautifully set up for us. I think the frustration of life and the frustration of not just being able to go. I was just a go-getter all the time. Just get in my car and go. You know, my mom and I weren't seeing eye to eye, or, you know, I just want to go with my friends, just get in my car. And I just didn't have that luxury anymore. I think that's when that it really set in for me that this was my life, and wasn't sure how long it would be my life, but that's the way my life was going to be for a while. What helped me a lot was going back to school. My mom would not let me sit in that bed. I remember when I got home from Shepherd Center, I was home for about a month, and I went back to therapy in Texas. I did another inpatient therapy in Houston, and I was doing outpatient therapy when I got out of there. So continued therapy, and then, you know, eventually went to school, and that really helped me, you know, get my focus off of me. But in a way it really didn't, because there was challenges there too. So I can get into it all. It's quite a story, but I didn't want to pass the opportunity up to share with you guys what happened to me, why I'm in my wheelchair. I didn't also mention that my injury occurred the 7th level of my vertebrae. So I have a C7 level injury. I'm a quadriplegic. That's what they diagnosed me as. They did the little Asia test with the safety pin to just see my Asia level. I probably should know. I think I'm Asia B. I know I'm incomplete, and so meaning I can feel below my injury level. I have a little bit of sensation and feeling below my injury level. But that is what they diagnosed me as. And over time, I have gotten feeling back. It's gotten better. There's just so many details and so much to share. And I can do a part 2 if you guys would like me to, because I can share more of the aftermath of my injury, and, you know, what it's done mentally to me, how it's affected me socially, and what I've done, you know, beyond my accident. But if you guys want more of that, please let me know. Leave a comment below. I'm more than willing to talk more about this. I have to check out though. My boyfriend is like, let's go. So I hope that this helps you guys. I always end my videos with I hope it helps, but I truly hope that my story has helped somebody. Anyway, that's my story. That's what happened to me. It is my 11th year in my wheelchair, so happy birthday to me. You guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.